All right, so June is done, the paychecks have hit, and my total income for the month of June is $1,991.61. So that number is down from last month, and I want to be upfront about that right away. I got sick in the middle of June, so I had to take a couple of days off there. I also went back for Father's Day this time to see my family for a couple days, which is something I didn't do in May. And also I took a Saturday off for my girlfriend's birthday just to be with her a little bit more. So all of those things just mean I had less hours on the clock, but it's the same income as normal, $18 an hour as a shift leader at Whataburger. The same context that I give every single video is that my parents cover my rent, car insurance, health insurance, and phone bill, and that's just because they want me to be able to focus on school as a college student. I know that's not everybody's situation, but the important thing is what you do with the money that you can control with the time that you have, and that's what we're going to talk about in this video with those systems. This is month 3 of going through my income every single month and listing out where every single dollar is allocated. Let's get right into it. The most important part about budgeting is not the number itself. It's the system and the habit of doing it every single month. So the first thing that I do every single month before I do anything else with that money is to pay myself first. Let myself benefit from the money that I'm making each month. That's a very important financial concept when it comes to building long-term wealth. So I take 30% of that total income and break it down into a high yield savings account, a Roth IRA, and an individual brokerage account. These accounts allow me to save for the present moment, look forward to retirement, and also save for those mid-tier things like buying a car or putting a down payment on a house one day, those sorts of things. So every single month, no matter what amount of income I make, I do the thing with that 30% no matter what. That's the most important part. It's the system and it's the percentages of doing that. It's not the number that matters. So knowing all those things, let's actually go through the numbers. In the month of July, once again, we made $1,991.61. Into my high yield savings account, I put $298 exact. Into my Roth IRA, I put $199.16, and in my individual brokerage account, I put $99.58, meaning my remaining after putting the 30% of paying myself first, it's $1,394.13. So then we move down to subscriptions. That total is $136.12 per month. The biggest immediately is therapy of $100. I prioritize my mental health each month, and it allows me to meet with somebody once a month just to talk about everything that's going on in my life. And yes, it's $100, but it has been so helpful for me to learn about what's going on in my mind and how to process those things. Then the MLS season pass is $8.92 per month. That is broken down monthly. It is a yearly subscription of about $120. I just take it out monthly. That way, when it does come out yearly, it's easy. I don't have to worry about it, and I would absolutely recommend doing that for your yearly subscriptions as well. My Spotify is $7.65 per month. Yes, I'm on the student plan, so it's a little bit cheaper than most, but I am a college student, so I get to take advantage of that while it lasts. Then the Adobe Suite is $17.55 per month. That's also the student plan. Because I'm a student, I get to take advantage of that because I use it for school, and I use it for this sort of content stuff right here. So then we have Velio for $2 a month. That's just another YouTube subscription that I use for video research and that sort of stuff. So after all those subscriptions come out, I have $1,258.01 left for the month of July. Then we move down to what I call my casual spending category. This is the stuff that goes on throughout the entire month. That stuff is groceries at $300 a month, gas at $100 a month, and a fun budget of $300 a month. You have to let yourself have fun with the money that you make, or you're not going to stick to this stuff and you're not going to be focusing on building up your long-term wealth. And groceries at $300 a month, living by myself and being able to eat relatively healthy on $300 a month is a massive blessing, and I'm so happy that I can pull that off. Gas at $100 is a recent thing that I did. I used to have gas and groceries combined at $300, and that caused me so much stress each month because by the halfway point of the month, I had like $50 left. So I decided to split those to cause myself less stress. And it's been so helpful because ever since then, I've been knocking out my budget goals 100% of the way. After all of this stuff, I had $558.01 left for the entire month of July. I then had to take off $30.94 off the top of that to cover a little bit of June leftover. My fun budget went a little over in the month of June because I needed to get something for something I'm about to talk about next. Meaning I had $527.07 left for the entire month of July. That is my leftover for the month of July, $527.07. And this month, that money has a very specific task because it's covering a decision that I made with my uncle over Father's Day weekend to take a trip to Boston. So over Father's Day weekend, I was home and I was talking with my uncle, and we were talking about our desire to take some sort of trip this year because I have yet to go on a vacation this year. And every year I like to try to go do something. And this year we've decided to go to Boston together. So the flight for that was $306.80. The hotel was $371.86. The City Pass was $86. The Red Sox game that we've already booked is $91.96. And some luggage accessories that I needed and to get my first proper adult suitcase was $438.83, bringing the total for the Boston trip so far $1,295.45. That's a ton of money that was not budgeted, but here's the important piece of that. The flight was covered with cashback points from credit cards. I talk about credit cards almost every single month by accident, but they've clearly helped me so much with cashback and redeeming those sort of points that I'm earning on everyday spending. And so being able to pay for my flight with just cashback points was incredible and incredibly helpful on this budget. My June leftover money was helped out a little bit with this. My July leftover money is going towards all of it, meaning that I have $268.38 left that I have not accounted for this Boston trip. And that money will be accounted for in August and take me into saving extra money for food and all of that sort of stuff when it comes to that trip. But the most important thing that I wanted to point out when it comes to this trip is I've had every single expense except for food on a day-to-day basis and any extra activities that we do. However, there won't be much of those because that's what the City Pass thing does for us. For just $86, we get 5 attractions throughout the entire city. That's cool. And that means that the trip should only come out to about $1,600 to $1,700 total, meaning that I'm able to travel relatively cheaply, and I'm gonna document that entire process when that trip comes in September. And when we get there, I'm gonna be super stoked and talk about it in every single way and how to budget for a trip and all of those sorts of stuff. But for now, I have $268.38 that we'll need to talk about in August, and we'll get there when we get there. So none of this Boston trip was on the spreadsheet, but the most important part is that sometimes in life you're gonna do spontaneous things. Sometimes in life you're going to want to have fun but not exactly plan for it, and as long as that stuff is done in moderation and you're not overspending what you have in your savings, this is what the savings account is for. As long as you have that emergency fund backing, I don't have a ton of other stuff that I'm saving up for at the moment. So being able to take out a little bit of money from savings to cover a nice trip like this is gonna make me so many memories at 19 years old. It's gonna be worth it. And just because it's not on the budget doesn't mean that you can't take that trip and go enjoy your life while you have it. So the most important parts to remember each month when you're working on your own monthly budget and maybe even doing it for the first time is to always pay yourself first. No matter the number amount, always use those percentages of what you can afford to save and save it every single month, no questions asked, no matter the number. Next up is you're going to have a ceiling category for each thing. That is having groceries at only $300. If you give yourself a ceiling, you won't overspend on those categories because you can't. And always remember that when something unplanned hits, that's what we have these systems for, so there's no reason to freak out. It's when you can take a step back, look at where you're at, look at what you have in savings, and cover for whatever emergency or whatever thing like that came up. So this is your reminder once again that it's the systems and not the numbers. I made less income this month and I spent $1,200 on a trip that was not planned, but we're still out on top, we're still making money, and we're still building the wealth that I want to build long-term in my life. So everything's gonna turn out okay. This is your reminder that I'm a finance student in college, and that's why I talk about these things. I love personal finance. It's been a part of my life since I was like 10 years old. I've always loved this stuff, and that's why I love talking and educating people about my personal finance journey. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, go ahead and subscribe to the channel because I make these sorts of videos every single month, and I also make a lot of budgeting videos in between about how to budget, how to do things with your money, how to invest, and all that sort of stuff. So if you're interested in those things, please subscribe along to the channel, and I'll talk all about it in future videos to come. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys very soon. Goodbye.